Coach, we are ready whenever you are.
Good afternoon. Long time no see. Hopefully everybody's doing very well. With that said, hey, I'm all ears.
Let's go first to Harold Kuntz. Go ahead, Harold.
EB, what's going on?
What's going on, bro?
We're doing the same, man. Hey, a lot of new additions to the offense, especially on the offensive line. Just your overall thoughts on seeing guys like Orlando Brown, Joe Tui out there, and how that's going to help your offense overall as a general with these practices.
You know what? I will say this. These guys have done a heck of a job. There's a lot of unique personalities in that room. Those guys are hilarious. They love having a good time together. It's great seeing them out there and working together. And it's been good. The chemistry is building. And the best thing about it, these guys are working their tails off. So I'm excited. I'm fired up. There's some new juice in the building. So, hey, we keep it rolling.
Go next to Haley Lewis. Go ahead, Haley.
Hey, Coach, kind of wanted to ask you, we talked to Reed about how now that things are creeping back to normal, people are getting more and more vaccinated. You guys don't have to focus so heavily on the COVID precautions. You can actually focus on football. How has that been these past couple of weeks where you actually get to just focus on what you're supposed to do?
You know what? I don't know if you actually really get back to, the ways of the world, the normal world as we used to know it. I still find myself putting a mask on every now and then when I'm coming in the building or just wearing one in my office. So still trying to get used to it. But I will say this, it does feel good knowing that everybody has been vaccinated. But, I'm talking about our coaching staff and our administration. But I will say this, when it's all said and done with, we're out here for OTAs. We get an opportunity to be outside on grass. I mean, you can't beat the weather. It was nice today. So get to watch the guys compete and perform. So we're having a great time. Thank you.
Let's go next to Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Eric. With Sammy Watkins being gone, looks like McCole and Byron Pringle are two of the guys who are in line for maybe more playing time. What have you seen from each of those two guys specifically that would lead you to believe that they're ready for a bigger workload?
Well, McCole, Pringle, D-Rob, they've all have had an opportunity to do it for us throughout their whole entire careers here. So we're counting on those guys to step up. And when it's all said and done with, we coach our guys, each and every one of them, to be the starter. So when it's all said and done with, these guys will be mentally as well as physically prepared to step up in any role that we foresee them to be in. So I'm excited about it. The best thing about this time of the year is being out there and watching these guys compete, but also, too, watching them build the chemistry together and watching them work and grow and get better together. So that's the fun part of it.
We'll go three more right from the top, starting with Pete Sweeney. Go ahead, Pete.
Hey, Eric. GM Brett Veach had said on the record that guys might try to get Clyde a little bit more involved in the passing game this season. And I was just wondering the process on that and the coaching points to maybe bring him a little bit further along and get him more involved on passes from Pat.
Well, the thing is just making sure that he has a better understanding of exactly what we're doing. When you come in as a rookie, obviously everything is brand new. And every week is a new playbook for you in a sense. And so he's had an opportunity to get a season underneath his feet. Now, obviously, he's had an opportunity to get out here and listen and be a part of the meetings. And so everything is starting to make more sense to him. And so with him growing with the wisdom that he has obtained in our system, it's going to help him to know exactly what we expect him to do when placed in those certain situations. So we're counting on Clyde to be Clyde. Clyde he's a tremendous kid. And on top of that, he's a hell of a football player. And he's going to accept any role and accept any challenge that's placed upon him.
Go next to Darren Smith. Go ahead, Darren.
Good afternoon, Coach.
What's up, D?
You got it. A wise man once said that you all played the worst game on the worst possible day at the worst possible moment. What lessons do you think that you and the coaching staff have learned from that game, taking it to this upcoming season so you don't have any type of repeat performances like that?
Well, I think the most important thing is not to take the little things for granted. And I know that's all coaching speak. But when it's all said and done with, we need to make sure that we're on top of everything, meaning that we got to make sure that we're mentally preparing our guys to be ready for those situations. On top of that, making sure that they're physically prepared. We have to be better as a staff. So we're not taking anything for granted. That's why we're enjoying the moments that we have right now. We got a bunch of guys participating. I think the competition level has been exciting, and it's been great being out there and watching these guys work. That's the fun part of it. Now it's our duty and our job to make sure that we're maximizing everything that they're doing and making sure that we're getting the best out of everyone. So it's our job to make sure that we don't take anything or any player or any play for granted.
We'll go last to Herbie Teope. Go ahead, Herbie.
Hey, Coach. Good to see you as always, man.
Hey, Herbie, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing well, thanks. I actually have two questions here for you. Okay. You're obviously a former NFL running back. You coached running backs. What was it about Greg Lewis that you said to yourself, hey, this guy would thrive if we moved him from wide receivers to coach running backs? And I'll have a second question after that.
Okay. Greg's a football coach. And when the opportunity came about, that's what he wanted to do. He came to us and said, listen, I want to learn more. I enjoy coaching football. This is what I want to do. He accepted the challenge, and he wanted to put himself in that particular position room so he can gain a full capacity of what we're doing on offense. And so with that said, that just goes to show you the type of person he is. All right. And then on top of that, how smart and intelligent he is, but also too, he's going to work at it to be better every single day.
You mentioned Edwards-Helaire's receiving skills, and obviously now you have a former wide receivers coach coaching that room there. How has that worked out? You know, what he's trying, his philosophies as a wide receiver coach, working out with the running backs to catch the football.
You know what? I think he's going to be great. I think those guys are going to have a better understanding of coverages. You know, with Greg being a former player who's been out on the perimeter and seeing certain things, I think he'll help those guys and identify exactly what's going on in the back end. So I think Greg is going to bring a tremendous amount of mental capabilities in that room. On top of that, I mean, he got some good players, but I do know this. G. Slew is going to work his tail off with those guys, and those guys will perform at the highest level.
Coach EB, we appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us.
I have to say this before I go. I'm disappointed nobody asked me about the 20-0.